much do you earn right now? Even if you think you are the highest paid at your place of work, go on the internet, check, put that same job title that you are doing, put how much the person in the country you want to relocate to, how much that same person is earning. How are you doing today? Welcome to this my session. Today I just want to share with you something that I think a lot of people are not doing enough. What is that? I've titled today's topic as sell your land. This is a treasure. Sell your land. This is a treasure. When you discover a treasure, right? And well, this is actually a treasure. What is the common thing for people to do? You sell your land and acquire that treasure, right? That's common sense. Is there anyone who is going to see something that has the capacity, for example, to give them thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars, and the only thing they probably have to do is sell their house, sell their property, sell their whatever, and they don't do it? Except the person doesn't understand the wealth. Right? When you discover a treasure, you sell your land. So today, I want to tell you that relocation is a treasure that many people do not know about fully. Relocation is a treasure that many people do not know about fully. Let me tell you why. For most people abroad, once you are on papers, even if you are a student, even if you come as an international student, though we already know that study abroad or is a legit way to relocate, right? But even as a student, for example, you have health insurance, a working health insurance, not HMO that is like they pay for tiny bits. With this health insurance, you can do so many things. So many things. Like if you need to do surgery, that is covered. If you need to do normal checkup, let's even say you're not sick, normal checkup, that is covered. If you have kids and you are, or let's say you want to give birth, that is covered. You've heard of some people say, oh, they want to travel abroad to give birth, of course, for medical reasons and other reasons that you probably know about, and they spend so much. As a student, let's just say as an international student abroad, your health insurance often covers that too. So, I'm just talking about the health insurance you have as a student, a working health insurance. It covers so many. And you're talking about yourself, you're talking about your spouse, you're talking about, think of it, in your own current country now, if you were to fall sick, how much do you spend? You can't even equate the amount, right? You can't even equate the amount. But for somebody who is abroad, how much do you think they're going to spend? How much do you think they're going to spend? Almost nothing. All the medical tests, because what? Those people contribute to health insurance, and therefore, legitimately, they can be taken care of from the health insurance. And I'm just talking about health insurance. Now, let's go to your kids. Let's say you're a new mom, you're a new dad, or old dad, or old mom, whatever. Or you just got married, or about to get married, right? Kids are going to come in the way. How about your kids' health insurance? As you know, me and you as adults, we even rarely fall sick. So when you have health insurance, except something big is happening, you're undergoing surgery or something, you never really get to feel it. But what about kids? They get sick like this, right? So think of how much you spend taking care of your kids, paying from out of pocket every time. If your kids were able to have health insurance alone, do you know how much that will, do you know how much stress that will take off from your back? Now, we are still on the topic that travel abroad, relocation abroad is actually a treasure. And we say that when you find a treasure, you sell your land to acquire that treasure. But the only challenge is that some people don't know the treasure that comes with relocation. They don't know. That is why I've taken up the energy to come and educate them today. See, now let's talk about your kids' school fees. Do you know that in most high-income countries abroad, your children, especially people below 18, like I'm not talking about university now, your children who is going to a primary school or secondary school, as the case may be, or high school as it is often called here, almost always they go for free. You don't have to pay school fees. Yes, maybe if your kid is going on an excursion or something, you may pay, you know, you may pay 1 or 2 money here, or your kid wants to belong to a club, you can pay money for the kid to join the club, right? Same thing that you actually do normally. But think of your kids' school fees. Now, it is even better if you have more kids, right? I know parents, for example, let me use Nigeria and specifically Abuja, for example. I know parents that are paying 500,000 naira for their children, and this is not even this is not even the high school, like this is not the high upper class schools, right? 500,000 naira for kids in secondary school, 500,000 naira for kids in primary school per term. And that means you do this about 3 times a year, or at least 3 times a year, right? Or twice a year minimum. And for how many years? And this is for 1 kid. So if you had 3, what does that equate to? Meanwhile, if you were to be in Canada or US, for example, or even UK, suddenly you are not paying that money. So you have to use your brain to think. Some people, they are so caught up on their plane tickets and probably course fee or training fee that they don't see the bigger picture. In many high-income countries, students who are there, provided you have your right papers, because there's no way you come with kids right now and you stay here for like 5 years, 10 years, you've not got your permanent residence, except you don't know what you're doing, right? So what that means is that the kids also get their permanent residency. So with that, even if they need to go to university and you don't have the money to pay for university for them, they can actually get study loan from, like, government study loan and use it to study, and then they can pay back once they start working. What does this mean? Just relocating with your kids abroad, you automatically guarantee their education from A to Z until they want to stop studying. Okay, we are still talking about kids. Let's come back to the adults, for example. Let me ask you, how much do you earn at work? How much do you earn at work? For somebody doing that exact role that you are doing, how much will they earn if they were in US, Canada, or UK, for example? How much do you, so let's say somebody once was once talking to me, said, my wife wants us to travel. I don't want to travel because I have a very high paying job right now. And I asked the person, how much are you paid? The person said, I'm paid 1 million naira a year. The person is a bank manager. And I said, that means we can say roughly you earn 12 million naira, 1 million naira a month. So I said, so roughly you earn about 12 million naira a year. The person said yes. And I said to the person, convert that to dollars, write the number down. Then go on the internet and Google the same bank manager in the country of your choice. Say, let's say your country of choice is UK. Bank manager, UK, what is the average salary? Go and do that for your job. So let's say you're a senior engineer or you're a junior engineer, right? And you feel that you are in a high-earning job. Forget those that are not even earning or they don't have work. Let's just leave them aside. Right now, I want to talk about the highest earners. Just like that man was having a cold feet because he felt like he was anywhere 1 million naira a month as a bank manager, and he's talking about, okay, if that's 12 million naira a year, what is going to happen? And I'm using naira for example because most times I talk with a lot of Nigerians. If you are from Rwanda or Uganda or Tanzania or Liberia, this also relates to you. Or, you know, it's also, or you're from Cameroon or you're from Ghana, you are not spared, right? How much do you earn right now? Even if you think you are the highest paid at your place of work, go on the internet, check, put that same job title that you are doing, put how much the person in the country you want to relocate to, how much that same person is earning. You are going to see a huge gap. Of course, I know that housing is not going to be the same, because you spend more on housing, you spend more on food, you spend more on blah, blah, blah. Agreed. But let's even say after you have finished spending those things, the amount left, you are still going to see that you are not going to beat the person abroad. That's it. You're not going to beat the person abroad. Of course, I'm not talking about people that work in places where they can easily be seen, you know, illegitimate funds. I'm not talking about that, because that one too is for a short period of time, right? And you can always be caught at any time. So I'm talking about legit work. Talking about legit work. So, and this is just the tiny examples that I can give you right here. Relocation, and relocation doesn't just help you. It helps everyone around you. I've said this multiple times. You see people relocate, they start building house for their parents, right? You see people relocate, they help their siblings, right? You see people relocate, they help their hometown as a whole, and their country even. Relocation is a treasure. It is okay if you have to sell your land to make it happen. I'm telling you. And let's not take this out of context. You don't have to come to me. But whatever you need to do, if you did one mistake people will make on this relocation journey is to hear somebody say, oh, come today, tomorrow you will land in the country. Pay, you know, whatever amount they want you to pay, and you will just jump there. At that point, you will have sold your land and you're going to lose all your earnings. That's not what I'm talking about. When you find a legit process, when you find a legit way, sell your land and make relocation happen for you, you will not regret it. If you need to sell your property, sell your property, because that same property you sold, right? That same property you sold to make your relocation happen, in 2 years to 3 years, you will buy that same property 2 times of it at the new appreciated price, and yet you have not started. Some people are getting it wrong. They are, how much does it cost? How am I supposed to know how much it costs? You find a legit process, sell your land, and make it happen. That's the point. Find a legit process, sell whatever you need to. And when I use the word sell your land, is a figure of speech, right? I'm trying to say, do whatever you need to do to make it happen. That's what I'm trying to say. If you know that there is that uncle that you want to beg for money, but you are shy, you don't want to tell him, you don't want to, if you go and beg him for money now, he's going to laugh at you and say, finally, I knew this day would come. So because of that, you don't want to relocate because you don't want to go and beg that your uncle for money. Swallow your pride and go and beg for that money. Do you see what I mean? So when I use the word sell your land, is a figure of speech that means do whatever you need to do to make it happen. Do whatever you need to do to make your relocation happen. Swallow your pride. If you have property to sell, sell. If there is a friend that can borrow you, don't be shy, borrow. Because you will be able to pay them back multiple upon multiple times. If you sell your land, you buy 2, 3, 4 of that same land, even at the appreciated price. I'm telling you. Some people don't know. Some people don't know. Some people don't know. Relocation is a treasure. Sell your land. Make it happen. Do whatever good you need to do to make it happen. Swallow your pride. If you need to talk to somebody, go and talk to them. Sometimes you don't even know that if you talk to somebody, something else will come up. Talk to the person. Talk to your parents. Don't say, if I go and tell them that, they will say, the last time I spoke to them, something, it didn't work. Swallow your pride. Go and beg. If you need to beg, go and beg. Relocation is a treasure. Relocation is a treasure. Sell your land. Do whatever you need to do to make it happen. Just relocating, you are covering so many things. Relocation is one of the most interesting investments you can do right now. Some people will write me and say, oh, I invested my money in this place. That particular organization, they are under investigation. CBN froze their account, so I can't get my money back. I'll just say, I wish this money you went to go invest in a money doubler's hand. I wish you invested it in your travel abroad process. Some people, they have money. Instead of them to invest in on relocation, they are investing in Bitcoin. I'm not saying you shouldn't invest in Bitcoin, but if you take the money you're supposed to use for relocation and invest it in Bitcoin, and tomorrow you're hearing that the money is gone, somebody stole your wallet, or you take the same money you're supposed to use for relocation, you go and put it in all these people that will say every month will give you 30%. How many of them? Yes, they will pay you for the meantime, right? And even the money they're paying, you're putting it back into the system. All right? You're putting it back into the system. So at the end of the day they will start investigation on that organization, your money will be frozen. You can't do anything. Somebody wrote me an email saying exactly this, and I'm sure it is not only that person it's happening to. Instead of you to take your money and invest it in a place that will tell you every month will give you 30%. If you have ever run a business, you will know that that is not feasible. No matter what the person wants to tell you, if you have run business before, you will know that, look at even legit businesses that are being traded, you get 10% return per year. Now somebody is giving you 30% return per month. You can see through it. It's just for the meantime. They'll put money, they lose money until they gather enough. You've told your family and friends that this work, and they will go away. If you are listening to me today and you're one of those that have your money in those kind of scheme, go and remove it. Invest in travel abroad, because when you invest in travel abroad, you secure job for yourself, for your spouse, if you're married now, or for your future spouse, if you're going to get married. You secure health insurance for yourself. You secure academics for yourself. Plus the job. Then for your children, born or unborn, you secure their health insurance. You secure their schooling. It's like guaranteeing success for your lineage. Why wouldn't you want to do such? Sell your land. Sell your property. Go and remove your money from that investment. Invest into study abroad. Relocate. Relocate. I'm telling you, relocate. Some people, they have the mindset and the mentality that relocation is a way to escape from their country. I don't believe in that mindset. And I would tell you, I'm from Nigeria, right? My birth citizenship is from Nigeria. And I have helped Nigeria and Nigerians much more than I would ever have done since I relocated. So the help I've offered to Nigeria and Nigerians is much more compared to if I had stayed back. So when some people think that when you relocate, it means the country will miss you. By the way, whose country is missing you, by the way? Since you have been in your country, how many times have the president come give you a flower, say we celebrate you, Thomas, Favor, Unichi, we celebrate you for being a citizen of this country. How many times? Ella Tiza, we celebrate you. How many times? Some people tell you, you want to look, hey, this country will miss you. Bullshit. Country will miss you what? Country will miss you what? Since you've been in that country, how many people, the people that are whining their mouth, how many of them gave you jobs? How many of them gave you jobs? How many of them paid for your hospital bill the last time you were sick? Don't let anybody deceive you. I see a lot of people going around telling people that they should not relocate. That same person that is telling you they should not relocate, they have second citizenship, they have another passport for another country. They are telling you not to relocate. If once in a month they go on vacation, they go and, you know, have good time, come back, you think you are in the same level with them. You think you are in the same level with them. You think you are in the same level with them. You are not. Sorry to burst your bubbles. You are not. Somebody is telling you don't relocate, but all their kids are abroad. All their kids are studying abroad. Your own kids, are they going to study abroad when they reach school age? I think that is the highest level of deception. I've heard this from some people. I think that's the highest level of deception, to tell the young people not to relocate because things are working well for you. Do you get? I'm not saying everybody must relocate, but don't be against it because you think that you have a second citizenship. Every day you want to travel, you travel. And you that you are listening to that person. I once went for a conference. We were sitting there talking. This woman started her talk by saying that young people should not relocate. So we're like, okay, cool. Towards the end of her talk, I think she has forgotten that she said that. I think she forgot that she said that. Towards the end of her talk, she now started saying how her kids are studying abroad. Now we do like this. Jesus, 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 save us. Your kids are abroad. You are here telling us not to relocate. So if they so believe in the country where they are, why are their kids not in that same country? Find the legit process, and once you find the legit process, do whatever you need to do. Please, I'm not telling you that you should go and jump on the bandwagon of anybody telling you we teleport people now. You pay today, tomorrow you land in the country. That's not what I'm saying. Do your due process. Find the people those persons have helped. You know, if you need to talk to them, talk to them. Find, do they have testimonials? Are there people that this has worked for? Don't go, do your due process. Do whatever you need to do to identify a legit pathway. But once you identify a legit pathway for relocation, sell your land and make it happen. Sell your land and make it happen. And when I use the word sell your land, it's not everybody that have land. You may not have land, but you may have TV to sell. You may not have land, you may not have TV, but you may have an uncle to beg, who you don't want to beg because you are proud. Not that you are proud in a bad way. That's not what I mean. Like, maybe they did something, you have your pride, you don't want to let go. Swallow that pride. Go and beg that beg. Go and beg that beg. You don't want to talk to your mom. You've not spoken to her in the last 2 years. You are even quarreling with her. But she's the one that can give you money for you to do whatever you need to do. Go and talk to her. Swallow your pride. So when I use the word sell your land, is a figure of speech to say do whatever you need to do to make it happen. Because relocation is the best investment you can make right now. It secures everything. And upon that, you can start building. You can start building. Some people say they are saving money to build house. I would say, use that money you are saving for house. Use it to relocate. When you relocate, in 2 years, you build that same house. I'm telling you. In 2 years, you will build that same house you have been trying to build.